All right. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Reading's morning meditation. Um, why don't we get started with how the body feels? I know for me, being a miserly New Englander, we're holding off on turning the heat on, but feeling the chill in the air, or as was mentioned to me in an email, the crisp September air, which carries with it lots of memory in my body and mind. So let's settle into the temperature in the room. Notice the feel of your clothing and how it keeps you warm versus the exposed parts of your body. Notice the sensations in both the body and the mind and the emotions that come with that crisp September air. Of course, if your hands are cold, warm them. If your any other part of your body is cold, cover them. Get a blanket, zip up your jacket, button your sweater, whatever's necessary to be comfortable for the next 30 minutes. And then slowly bring the attention to the breath. And depending on how your nasal cavities are this morning, notice the passing of the breath over the nostrils, or if you have seasonal allergies and maybe you're forced to breathe through the mouth, you can notice the same sensation over the lips and feel that cool air cross the threshold of your body and move inward and feel how it invigorates the body, but also notice how when the air comes out that it is warm. It's been through your 98.6 degree body and warmed up a little bit. And as a way of sort of generating heat or energy, if you'd like, you can bring in some deeper inhales and deeper exhales. See if you notice any sort of warmth generated in the body from the deeper breaths, the inhale and the exhale. And if you feel the heat generated, maybe do that for maybe up to 10 breaths. You can even move the body more vigorously as you breathe. Bring the shoulders into it. Bring them up and down with each breath. Lengthen the spine with each inhale. And then let the muscles relax over the skeleton as you exhale. And continue on for the next few breaths. That nice deep inhale, deep exhale. Finding the good posture over which you can contract and relax the muscles. And enjoy the warmth generated by the deeper breaths. And now bring your hands together um, and rub them sort of very vigorously um, until you feel some warmth generated in the hands. And as you'd like, you can maybe place them to a cooler part of your body and enjoy that heat. And make that vigorous rubbing a sort of a full body kind of wiggle to generate that heat. And then settle into a comfortable posture, maybe having found a little bit more warmth um, in those exercises. And using throughout this meditation, if you do continue to feel the cold, to maybe go in and out of those deeper breaths, or even get up and move around if you need to, or get up and cover yourself with something warmer. Again, the path of the Buddha is the seeking of the cessation of suffering, or at least, let's say in modern terms, mitigation of suffering. Um, and so um, when we use our senses and understand that we're in need of something, um, we listen to our bodies, listen to our senses, and attend to that need. And so as we use this wisdom of the Eightfold Path, the path of the Buddha, the good news, the gospel of the Buddha, we could say, the good news that while there is suffering, suffering has causes, and if there are causes, then those causes can be addressed. That means we can do something about our suffering. Um, um, and that is the path of the Buddha. It is a healing path. that allows us to observe our nature, understand how our habits and preferences can oftentimes generate suffering, how our natural responses can be amplified, perhaps unnecessarily, to the point where we generate more suffering than is useful. So if we take a look at some of the recent events that have inflamed the minds and hearts of America as we go into an election cycle, which increasingly requires sort of a delicate handling of our relationships with the people that we're with, and a delicate handling of our own heart, in that we try to be engaged in the political arena, as is our responsibility, our right as citizens of a free society, but then balance that um, with our needs as a normal human being who has boundaries and limits and tendencies to generate more suffering uh, for ourselves. So as we reflect on maybe an event, perhaps the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, as being um, something that brings worry or consternation, or um, around your belief system, maybe we can reflect upon um, our responses to this event and our responses to the communication within our larger democracy, and how we might best take care of ourselves and best be active citizens addressing, or advocating for our beliefs and our way of life. And use this time over the next many breaths to contemplate, rather than meditate, and reflect upon some of our responses in a more scientific way, in a dispassionate way, um, and notice how, in retrospect, how um, our responses have reflected who we want to be, and how our responses reflect um, and support, or possibly damage um, the position that you are inclined to advocate for. Maybe there were harsh words spoken by or to you, and you might reflect upon the source of that anger and the response to it, and setting aside the right or wrong of it, um, but exploring um, the ends and the means and the impact on ourselves um, by that exchange, that communication, that those words. And as we're reflecting on these um, sort of political machinations that are going on in our world, um, let's sort of pause our contemplation and then take stock of how we feel as these thoughts run through our head, as these emotions sort of rise and fall in our body. And notice, if there's sort of detriment that's being produced in the form of tension, in the form of anxiety or anguish and anger, and take a moment to sort of step back one step further um, and let those thoughts simply pass, as all thoughts do, and then move into a state of non-judgmental awareness as an opportunity to heal, to free up that um, those emotions and their impact uh, as a cleansing for this contemplation and for the week, as an opportunity to just take care of yourself. So with each rising breath, inhale the um, the sustenance of the universe around us. Uh, Reflect on its unending giving and receiving of life, on its um, stalwart presence in allowing you and your loved ones and those around us to live and breathe uh, within it. And maybe as a antidote for the stress of the political year, maybe transition from that to a state of gratitude, and then allowing the mind and the body to settle into the center of gravity, the hara, move from our awareness being in our heads and in our minds and in our hearts, and allow that to settle down, slowly moving downward, and with it, our um, emotions, with it, our frequency and depth of our breath, and with it, the relaxation of the muscles of the body, all of it sinking, um, as a means to let go, as to uh, provide the rest and the space for healing that the body needs every day. Inhaling, exhaling. So let's spend the last few minutes of our meditation just settling into the peace, the tranquility, the equanimity that we uh, have available to us at any time by returning to this state of non-judgmental awareness, this place of healing. Really just enjoy being and being in this place of healing. And before we slowly come out of our meditation, I just wanted to leave you with one thought uh, to consider over the course of the next few months as we sort of interact with the world in this political arena. Um, Contemplate or consider first what it means to change your own mind, um, to move away from the habits of suffering and the propensity of human nature to create suffering. Think about the challenge that lies in front of us every day to sort of get out of our own way or get out of the way of happiness and contentment in our life. And as you consider that, as you go out into the world with a desire to change others' minds, um, reflect on how difficult that would be and how one might uh, be the spark for change. Um, Perhaps the gentleness that we find ourselves affording ourselves in the act of meditation, the intense patience, the effort, the never-ending effort to uh, understand our true nature and find it. Um, Reflect on how it must be, how you share that with the world, how you help facilitate the change that you feel is needed in the world. So let's slowly come out of our meditation. Allow the next inhale to be a little bit deeper. And on the exhale, bring some movement to the fingers and the toes and the spine. Allow the next inhale to be even deeper. And on the exhale, slowly open the eyes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May all be free from unhappiness and its causes. May all dwell in equanimity, free from attraction or aversion. and may all quickly find the great happiness which lies beyond all misery. May all enjoy inner and outer peace now and forever. Namo Amitofo. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely week.
Thank you.
See you next time.